Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today. The purpose of this video is to discuss where I think the price is going to be. I've got some alterations that I'd like to make for this end of week analysis that I've had, or the end of week price projections that I've had all week. They are coming down a little bit. I do think that we're going to correct tomorrow, and maybe even to finish off the week. This recent high that we saw might have been it just for this week, and then next week we're going to resume moving up. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, you guys. Here we go. So looking at the price action here, we're sitting at about $360, and I am still waiting patiently, man. I'm still waiting patiently for an opportunity to buy. I think it's going to pay off. You know, my money on Robinhood, it's not getting cleared until tomorrow, and again, you guys, I have this. I want to spin a conspiracy theory. I have this theory that a lot of people right now are probably getting into the markets because I've never had this long of a pause of depositing money. It's never happened. Never. The very beginning of crypto, whenever I first started messing around with crypto exchanges, it would happen. But I'm dealing with the stock exchange, Robinhood, and I can't get my money on. It's been literally a week. I've never had this experience before. I would assume I'm not the only person trying to put money in right now. I'm assuming I'm not the only person who feels the urgency of getting into the markets right now. And I would assume I'm not the only person having money cleared probably tomorrow or the next day, which is the end of the week. I would assume I'm not the only person. So I have this conspiracy theory that with all this, and it's not my money. It's when I say all this money, I'm not talking about me, right? I don't have billions of dollars, but maybe there's a lot of money getting cleared. It is the 16th. It's actually the 15th right now of January. So people do get paid at like this kind of time frame, and then on Friday too they get paid. There's a lot of money probably coming in on this, the second Friday or third Friday, the 15th, 16th, 17th. This kind of time frame in this month, it would be the third Friday is what it would be technically. I think that there are people I think there's money coming into the markets, okay, is what I'm trying to say. That's my conspiracy theory. And I think that they are all getting cleared. They're all going to be in the markets ready to get in tomorrow and the next day, Thursday and Friday, probably, right? And that makes me think we're probably going to drop in that kind of perspective. I don't know. Maybe I'm associating what other people are doing or what the average market participant's going through with my own stuff. Maybe that's just me. But let's, beyond the conspiracy theory, let's work this out and do some actual like price action technical analysis here. Okay, so what we're doing right now, while it's awesome, while it is nice that from a relative low back on the 13th of January, here we are on the 15th right now, we moved up 21%. While that's awesome, it is still a lower high. You are finding resistance at previous areas of resistance, and support and resistance. Likely you find resistance here now. Likely you do. We look at the RSI. You're at the 60 area, and while it's nice to get above it, likely when you're in questionable times such as these, you probably do kind of consolidate a little bit more before you figure it out and determine that you actually really do want to see these higher readings, these stronger readings, and kind of extend yourself out there, right? That's kind of my assumption at the moment. Oh, we're looking at this on a 4 hour? I thought it looked weird. Looking at it on a daily here. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. Daily RSI. Okay. Well, it's not above the 60, but still. Even more reason for it. We're not even above the 60 yet, so that's fine. We could pull back to the 50 and find support there, right? Yeah, threw me off a little bit, but that's okay. Still, the point remains, we're finding resistance here at previous areas of support. If we look at this from a relative high to a relative low, you hit your 382 area, went back just below your 236 area, now you're back at the 382. Wouldn't it be funny if you kind of, the first time you were outside the lines, and then this next time you stayed inside the lines, like very well, you just a little ping pong off the 382 to the 236? I don't know. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but let's just see if any kind of fib levels line up with this low to high here. It would make sense. It would actually make sense. Maybe not to go down all the way to 330 where this red line here is at the 236 there, but to go down maybe back to like 340 and even a little bit below there, right? If this is your high to low, oh no, okay, so probably back to 340, yeah. 340, the lowest I would give it is 319. We're at 360 now. Yes, MicroStrategy could move all the way back to 319 and still be fine, still see $1,000 by the end of February, all that's fine. Yes, the end of week projections that I've had, which were all the way up here, are changed. I think the end of week projections, I can't remember. I know I was emphasizing on these areas a lot, but I think I said 380 to something like that. We didn't hit that area. I think we're going to fall short of it. So I'm going to be wrong on my end of week projections, but I'm going to call it before we turn around tomorrow. So hopefully that vindicates me a little bit, right? People, and not a lot of people, I think it's just the trolls, but there's been a couple people recently who are like, you don't even make remarks when you're wrong anymore. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I make so many calls. I talk about so many things all the time. Like I'm not trying to hide that I'm wrong, man. I'm not afraid of being wrong, right? You guys know I've been wrong about MicroStrategy here and there. I don't need to say it in every video either, right? But I assume that my end of week targets likely will be wrong. That's the only reason I'm bringing that up now. I assume that they will be wrong, and I actually think we'll be probably closing this week a little bit lower. We're at $360 now. My assumption, let's just end the video on this note, is unless I'm wrong, and I can be wrong. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again, right? It's very possible. If I'm wrong, then we will be at 380 or higher by the end of this week, which would be awesome. Maybe not awesome for me because I didn't fully secure my position yet, but awesome for everybody who's holding MicroStrategy and does have a secure position, right? But I do think that we're going to be at 340 to 330. Lowest possible expectation would be 320. Either by the end of this week or very, very early next week. That'd be crazy to open the price up at that next week. So I guess we wouldn't do that. I bet 340 to 330. That's kind of my expectation by the end, because I don't think we drop all the way to 320 in 2 days. I mean, maybe it's possible. I think Bitcoin's going to drop down over the next 3 days. I think it's going to drop down to 95K. No, not 95K. I'm sorry, 97 and 98K, but it could drop down to 95K. I'm just curious, right? Like Bitcoin closed the day here. If it dropped down to 96K, which is kind of the actual area that I would expect it to go, 97, 98K is where I'm actually expecting it to go. But if it goes below that 4% drop, a 4% drop in Bitcoin, I mean, it could trigger a 12% drop, I suppose, in MicroStrategy, but I would think more so probably closer to like an 8% drop, which puts us closer to 330. I don't know. I'm just expecting a little bit of a pullback. That's all I'm trying to say, guys, right? And I think that you've gotten the point, okay? 1 hour time frame, you keep rejecting the overboughts and you're just not getting there. I don't actually know if that's a bad thing, to be completely fair. You might have one like last eruptive move up. Let's see, because I feel like if we compare this to anything like that, let's see, maybe not actually, yeah. Similar, keep interacting with the oversold zone, but you didn't go into it, you bounced, right? Here, you keep interacting with the overbought zone, you didn't go into it, you might reject. So maybe we do go down. The 1 hour would call for it. The 3 hours certainly actually would call for it. Look at this lower high here in the RSI. Lower highs, bearish convergence. Yeah, you probably do go just a little bit lower, and that's fine too, right? Higher lows here, higher highs here. You come down to find support on the 50, boom, move up, and that probably does, based off of this. How long would that last? Today's Wednesday, Thursday. We could, okay, so that likely, yes, we will find our low by the end of this week. We will be at our low next week. We probably won't even be at the low next week on Tuesday when we open. I bet we'll open up with a hell of a gap up, you guys. It'll be like one of these gaps next week. Probably, man, honestly. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more content like this. We're not going over the $1,000 projections. We're just going over the short-term stuff because you guys know where it's at with the $1,000 stuff, right? If not, feel free to watch last night's video. $13 price, yeah, $1,300 price protection. That'll do you well, right? But this is just for the short-term momentary updates. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. I'm done. I'll see you later. Bye.